I'll recognize Mr. LoBiondo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate your holding this hearing. With the Deepwater Horizon exploded and sank nearly 4 weeks ago, we've heard repeatedly how 11 crew members tragically lost their lives. And now the nation faces an enormous economic and environmental disaster. The federal government began its investigation into the causes of the initial explosion and the failure of the blowout preventer last week. However, it is painfully clear that the administration and industry were simply not prepared to respond to an oil spill at this depth and of this magnitude. There was certainly no adequate plan in place to respond to this type of spill, and we should never be in a situation where we find ourselves now, where we are literally testing response technology as we try to clean up the spill. This is completely unacceptable. I am also concerned that the federal government, and particularly the Coast Guard, may not have had the level of resources and authorities to fully respond to the situation such as this. And I would like to point out that if we move forward with the President's budget, that we, I think, are going to cause enormous potential damage to the Coast Guard's ability to respond. Mr. Chairman, I very rarely like to disagree with you publicly, but the Views and Estimates letters restored the two 378-foot cutters, restored all the helicopters, restored all of the maritime security teams, and I don't think anybody on our side of the aisle ever gave any indication that we approved in any way what the President was trying to do. And I think for many of us, we've seen what happened over the years when we've asked the Coast Guard to do more with less. And they've graciously said, yes, we will, and we'll try, but they're tasked with an enormous responsibility, from maritime anti-terrorism to port security to overseeing spills like we're seeing now, to illegal drugs, to fisheries enforcement. How can we possibly expect them to do their mission that we are giving them if we're going to talk about cutting personnel? In our committee, Mr. Cummings we began discussions on this, and I want to thank Mr. Cummings for agreeing to join together so we can find a way to keep this from happening. I hope, Mr. Chairman, you use your enormous position of authority and responsibility to convince others that this is a terribly wrong move. We look to the Coast Guard in times like this to not only oversee, but if necessary, to take a lead role. And we have to anticipate that the unexpected would happen and have them in a position of readiness, both from an asset and from a personnel standpoint. So I hope that holding this hearing provides the committee with an opportunity to hear from all parties and how we respond to this bill. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and hope that we can join in with Mr. Mica and Mr. Cummings and yourself to find a clear path forward to help solve these things in the future. And I thank you very much.